and welcome to OnSide SA. Budge and I and Stevie B in the Fulham studio are going to run through things that are happening. We're right in the middle of last one standings midweek selections. We've had games yesterday, some great goals. Budge, let's talk last one standing first before we talk about the game last night. How many went into these midweek games?
First competition, the weekend competition, we had 17 going through. Only Tottenham took Craig out, but so 16 went through. You know, I asked everybody for the selections, but Wednesday the game's tonight, so I didn't force the issue. So I've got 13 of the 16. 8 are on Forest, 1 is on Wolves, 1 on Brighton, 1 on Man United, and 2 were on Everton. Grant Fraser and Phil Chivers. So boys, the groin, yeah, well done. There's 3 more to come. Rowan and Logan to come today, so pressure on. Especially
that's still going strong, eh?
Yeah.
Lovely. Week 14, it's very good.
That's brilliant, Paul.
Second competition?
Yeah. Paul, there were 238 going through, 220 went through.
Very good.
Crazy. The guys that went out were Crystal Palace, Notts Forest, Arsenal and Spurs. But last night, we had a few guys on. 17 were on Man City who went through. 14 were on Bournemouth, got beat 1-0. 19 were on Newcastle. They must have thought it 2-1. They were good things. And 1 guy was on Tottenham.
2 gone.
So the guys have gone. So yeah, there's plenty coming through. There's still a few guys on tonight. But there's also the weekend as well, guys. So the guys that are going through, you will obviously be sent all your previous sides. And 12:30 on Saturday is normal, guys. So well done to the guys that have gone through. And we'll let you know what's going on. There is a Thursday game, Man United at home to Wolves. So the PDF will be sent to you Wednesday morning. That's
when does Man United play a game?
Home. And then they play
Thursday.
Monday.
Monday
they're at Wolves.
Wolves,
yeah.
Okay.
So, the PDF guys will be Thursday.
All right. So Stevie B's in the studio. We can get Stevie.
I think he's got his voice left.
Steve, you got your voice back?
Only just. I didn't have much to shout about for an hour last night, but the last 30 minutes we made a game of it, and we showed what we're capable of, and also showed how vulnerable City can be, as we saw at the weekend when Leeds came back, and literally, I mean, I could. Where I sit, I can look down on Pep, and he was. If he had hair, he'd be tearing it out because he couldn't get the players to do what he wanted in the second half, and in the end, he threw on Stones and Ake just to try and hang on. It was a crazy game, and for us to score 4 goals and still lose. But I think for a neutral, if they were watching that, they would have enjoyed the last half hour for sure.
I loved it. I thought it was a very good. As I said, I thought 5-1. This is going to be a big one. And suddenly they played well. You've got a good team, Steve. Pity you're losing a few to African Cup of Nations, but I think most clubs are affected. A lot of affected.
Paul, Newcastle Spurs, did you watch it to the end or did you watch it?
No.
It was a good game, yeah?
Yeah, watch. It was second half was better.
Yeah.
First half, they controlled it. They were really on top of us. Not many creative chances, but possession, corners, players in the box. They were well ahead of us. We were going nowhere. And then we turned it around second half and gave away a silly goal. And then we came back and our centre half stood up and got 2 goals for the second one. I don't know how he scored that. Yeah. I don't know. Newcastle was
miracle. I think it went through someone's leg.
He got taken out, pulled down in the corner situation. And from there, he bounced straight up. The ball bounced to him. He did a backflip.
Imagine the training sessions.
But what was your take on the penalty?
Not a penalty.
The commentators both said not a penalty.
Yeah. Paul, they're all grabbing now.
Yeah.
And he's going down. The ball hadn't been flicked on when he was down.
Yeah.
The problem I see it is, if that's going to be the standard,
do it all the time.
Do it all the time.
I'll accept it. I agree. And Steve will probably agree with us on this one, that, you have a situation, what I thought was against him.
He wasn't watching the ball.
That's it.
But how many people watch the ball?
How many people watch the ball? You're right. Steve, what was your take? I don't know if you managed to ever see that penalty.
Yeah, I watched the last half hour after our game.
Yes.
And, the thing is that goes on in the box all the time. And the trouble is if you give it once, where do you draw the line? So they were fortunate, but in the end, your centre half, who missed the Fulham game, came back and scored with I think it hit his shin rather than anything else, and it sort of went in. But I think from what I saw, it was a sort of fighting performance. I think they're obviously more determined. And, drop points again, but I think I think at 2-1 down with a few minutes to go, they'd have happy to take a point at Tottenham. So they regroup, go again.
I think they're a better side with Johnson, and he just offers something on the break.
Rubbish, but
I know he's rubbish, but he doesn't know what he's doing.
I'll put one thing to you, Budge. I watch every Spurs game. Wherever I'm in the world, I tape them and record them. If a keeper kicks a long ball up to him, get ahead. His head's a metre away from the ball. They play a ball up to him, right? He can knock a ball back and he can sprint.
Yeah.
Rubbish, Budge. Rubbish.
But he's in the box. He
is really.
I know you watch him. He's frustrating, but
Odeberg, Tell, Johnson,
I'd rather
they're
have
rubbish.
him than Tell, yeah.
Bring me back Kulusevski. Bring me back Madison. Bring me back the boy. What's his name in the midfield? He's been injured for months. I'd probably go into Cup of Nations.
Solanke's at side. No.
What's his name? I've just gone blank.
Yeah.
Plays in the midfield for us. Plays in Africa.
Basuma.
Thank you, Basuma.
Okay,
Bring me players who can play.
Yeah.
I've watched him.
Johnson's a greyhound. I just think he's a
That's
threat.
all he is, a ground. Yeah. So was Werner's. I get passionate about Spurs. Werner's. Lawrence Werner's was better. Budge, promise you, Oaks and Stella were better than those two. And one guy's got a World Cup winning medal.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe it? Johnson, he got scored in the cup final. He ran into the box, it bounced off him. I was there.
Anyway. Yeah, you're under pressure, Paul, especially with up front. You say you've got to get Solanke back. Game I watched was Bournemouth Everton, obviously for the competition. Terrible game.
That's what I thought.
You know, Everton need to go and buy a centre forward. I like the guy that I like, obviously Semenyo. Who's the guy up front for Bournemouth? Is it Evan Nielsen?
Evan Nielsen.
I cannot play. He doesn't start.
Do you know he's a good player? They play Grealish.
Dewsbury Hall.
No, the guy down the other way.
Yeah, the other young guy.
How's his control and skill?
They just need a centre forward.
Yeah, they need a centre forward. They've got great wingers. Yeah.
What was funny, when I was back at Preston, Mark Lawrenson's nephew, Jamie Scooge, we were talking about it. He says they've got to go and get the centre forward from, the right winger from West Ham. Everyone wants him.
But do you know, just interrupting you, people talk about you got to go out and buy the centre halves. Liverpool went out and splashed out millions. They haven't produced a good shot. But hang on, let's go. Arsenal, Man United. Where their big strikers they bought? Yeah. Where's a good striker in the league apart from Haaland?
Everton, for me, they'd signed that Evan Nielsen. They need a target man to someone to play off. Because that Beto and the other guy haven't done it. And everyone wants the captain of West Ham. I don't think they'll get him, but they've got to try and prove, because Moyes isn't bad. It's just that to win something, Paul, you've got to have attacking players.
I just wanted to ask Steve a question. Steve, did you see that act of petulance by the West Ham guy who got 2 yellows?
Absolutely, yeah, Paquetá. I mean, I heard the press conference, Nuno was making excuses for him. No excuse at all. I mean, he led his team down, cost them the game in the end, and he's lucky that he just got a one-match ban for the way, I think if he wasn't taken off the pitch, he could have ended up really abusing the referee and got himself a longer ban. So, crazy really, as I say. Maybe he's been punished sort of internally, but for the...
It was just a petulant display.
Whether or not, I mean, he's not available, but whether or not they'll pick him for the first game afterwards, I don't know.
Ridiculous. So they find him 2 weeks' wages.
Me too, 2 weeks' wages. Just that act of petulance, you can live with that.
And it's 1-0 too. You've got half a chance maybe to get back and you're gone. Anyway, there's games on tonight, Wednesday. Arsenal, Brentford. Looking forward to Brighton, Aston Villa.
That'll be a good game.
Burnley, Crystal Palace. That'll be panel beating stakes. Leeds, Chelsea. I think it'll be a good game.
Be a good game.
Leeds have a go at home. Liverpool, Sunderland. And
another good game.
Wolves, Notts Forest. Competition. Most of the boys will be on that. And tomorrow night, Man United, West Ham.
But most of the boys will be on Notts Forest, you say?
West, yeah. There's 8 at the moment and 1 on Wolves.
Budge, Wolves have to get another point somewhere. Wouldn't it be this week?
Paul, I watched against Aston Villa. They fought hard. The only problem was they didn't try and score.
I wouldn't be on Notts Forest because, what's your saying? Your dad used to say, rather back
a team
that keeps winning than
a winner
till
he loses than a loser until he wins. So 13 games, they've lost 11. So the guys have taken that. Forest, you just don't know, Paul.
Who are you on, Steve?
Liverpool.
If I was on anybody, it certainly wouldn't be Wolves.
Yeah, that's
fair enough.
7 picks, the guys are trying to win it. Anyway, on to the weekend's games. And big game first up, Steve. Aston Villa, Arsenal.
Great game.
Who won?
Yeah, very much so. And look, Villa are making themselves hard to beat and they're having a really good run. Obviously, they play again tonight. But Arsenal and Arsenal as well, they both got sort of fairly tough games tonight. But this is a huge game. Arsenal, I thought we're going to win that game when Chelsea went down to 10, but Chelsea played well. Villa don't lose many at Villa Park, and I think they beat Arsenal last year. So I think Arsenal are going to have to really play well to get 3 points here. But they might take a point. But they've got City breathing down their neck now, only 2 points behind after last night. So I think Arsenal are going to have to sort of keep this run going. They're still without players, but they score goals from all over the pitch, and I think that's the difference for them.
Yeah, I think Arsenal got shown up on Sunday. That Chelsea team were far superior until the guy got sent off.
James in the middle,
outstanding.
He was brilliant.
Well, when they played the World Cup final,
Crusader, but stupid tackle.
Ridiculous.
He's a thug.
Yeah, he is.
He's a very good player, but he's a thug, and he can't have an argument. You cannot fly and tackle. There's a chance you're going to get it wrong.
Yeah. I think it was Paul the intent. You get a guy on the foot, he's hard when he tackles. But I was disappointed in Arsenal. I don't know if they've got it, Paul. I know they've got the players. Eze was invisible. Any team that goes man for man against them in the middle of the park and gets into them, gives them a game.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Aston Villa or that team, but it'll be a tactical affair.
Aston Villa, who'd they scrape home against?
Wolves, 1-0.
Yeah,
they were in charge. Wolves scored first, but disallowed. But a tight game, Steve. I was going to have a bet, which I'm not. It'll be under 2.5 goals. Lunchtime kickoff. I think it'll be tight early. Game I'm looking forward to is Bournemouth-Chelsea, Steve. I'm all over Chelsea. I'm impressed with them.
The best bet on the card.
Bournemouth were absolutely garbage last night.
Absolute rubbish.
I watched the game against Sunderland that 8 players booked and one guy got sent off at absolute liberty, elbowed him off the ball. I think they're gone. I know I should never say that.
Are they gone? Their form suggests that.
Just watching Semenyo walk off the pitch last night with Jack Grealish.
Off the rails.
Yeah.
They were second.
They were top 4 just half a dozen games ago, but their form has gone, and really there's confidence. I mean, certainly they had that game won at Sunderland, and they managed to throw it away.
I watched
it. I think you're right. I think Chelsea on the road, if they break quickly, and Cole Palmer will certainly be back.
He'll be
if
back,
not tonight, then at the weekend, I'm sure. And I think Chelsea could again close the gap themselves, because they've got 2, in my mind, winnable away games coming up this week.
I think they've got a chance to win the league. I know there's a couple of head cases. You should never jump the gun, but I fancy them, and I think Santos, that Brazilian, will come in. They've got good young players. They've got legs. They're a big squad. I think they're a live contender. Bournemouth, I could not be so disappointed. I like the manager. He threw his toys out the cot.
Bad players, and he sold centre-half to Real Madrid.
Semenyo's gone, Paul.
Sold the left back.
Yeah,
they rely too much on him.
For the back 5. And also, I just saw Semenyo walking off with Jack Grealish, and they were talking. So something's on the boil with Semenyo. He'll go in January. And my boy Clive, all he wanted to do last night was fight and kick and get stuck in. But for me, Chelsea will be in every bet. Everton, Notts Forest, Steve. Which way are you going?
Yeah, I mean, look, you're not sure you're going to get with Everton. I mean, they were totally outplayed by Newcastle. Then they come back and they put in a strong performance. I only saw the highlights last night at the win at Everton. So, they're in a decent position. David Moyes steers them well clear of that relegation. So, Forest, again, they'd had a little sort of bounce back. It sounded like they were completely on top for big parts of the game against Brighton, but got caught out. So I think this would be a close game. I think Everton will fancy their chances at home, and if they were to win it, for me, maybe by the odd goal in 3.
Yeah, I just think I'm the other way, Steve. Everton, I was impressed last night, but they don't score goals. And that's the problem. That guy up front, is it Beto Barry? Every time they knock the ball up, he loses it. So that's my problem with Everton. And one thing Nottingham Forest can do, they can defend, and they're good from set pieces. Everton are poor from set pieces. We saw what Newcastle did to them. Yeah. Spurs, Van der Veen scored a couple, I think it was. So I'd be worried about...
last win in the league.
That's right, 1-6. Yeah, for me, I think it's got draw written all over. I think it'll be tight early on. And remember, Sean Dyche was the Everton manager. So he's going to go back there looking to prove a point. But I'm not going to be watching this game, that's for sure. Man City, too good for Sunderland, Steve?
Liverpool.
No, sorry, Man City, Sunderland.
Man City, yes, certainly. I think so. Look, I mean, the City was so ruthless last night. When they got a chance, they took it. But Sunderland are the sort of team that will have a go.
Yeah.
I think there'll certainly be goals in this. I'd be surprised if City don't win. And score a few, because that's what they're capable of doing. Haaland now has got his 100 goals, fastest player to get to 100 Premier League goals by a long one.
14 games.
So I think both teams will score. For me, City will win.
Well, then the bets: Man City to win and both teams to score yes at 18-10. Yeah, I just got my doubts about Sunderland. Big game at Liverpool last night. Great effort on the weekend, beating Bournemouth. Sometimes it's the third game it catches them, but you never know with Man City. They aren't too good. Next game.
Sunderland boss done a good job.
I think the best signing of the season so far has been Granit Xhaka for the money. Been playing great. Newcastle, Burnley. Surely they've got to beat Burnley, Steve.
I think Eddie Howe would be disappointed that having got themselves ahead twice, they didn't win the game last night. You'd think that they would beat Burnley. I mean, Burnley had sort of find themselves now in sort of in the bottom three, and I think that it's going to be a hard struggle for them. So for me, Newcastle by at least one.
Yeah, I think there'll be plenty of goals in this. Just got to release the break. The only thing is Burnley do score. Everywhere they go, they do score. So Newcastle will win. Both teams to score yes is my suggestion. On to the second page. Paul, Tottenham, Brentford. What do you think? You're at home. You've got no chance.
I've been at home. I've been away.
You're back.
I've been the unpredictable bad side who have good players. The bad side don't put it together. Jury's out and Thomas Frank. I was amongst the supporters in the box. They all had opinions, and the one guy sitting opposite me had just been to PSG. He'd been both cup finals that I went to as well. So he's a 50-year supporter. And he keeps saying, well, I suppose we've got to give them time. We've got to give them time, but dish up something for us. And first half against Fulham, they were atrocious. Second half, Fulham closed shop. Fulham are a better side than us at the moment. They're playing. They've got better players in those positions. We have got bad players. I don't know what's going to happen. Brentford boss is another guy. What's he, Andrews or something? Yeah. He's done a good job. So he'll throw. I think we're the better side, but maybe Steve can give me confidence.
What do you think, Steve?
Well, look, I mean, it's this whole thing at home. I mean, Spurs are under sort of increasing pressure as the weeks go on, and they fail to win another home game. The crowd. I mean, Paul was there, and obviously I was watching. The crowd get on their back straight away, and obviously on Saturday evening, 6 minutes, 2-0 down. First half, I mean, it was a cacophony of boos half the time, so it does put pressure on the players. Thomas Frank criticising the fans didn't help, although he's had to row that back. This will be a tough game, although Brentford have got a tough game as well tonight. Obviously, they've got a North London double this week, so it's going to be tough for them. Look, Tottenham have got to show belief. They can't sit back. If they go behind against a team like Brentford are very good at sitting deep and catching teams on the break. And they've got this, they seem to always find new forwards. So also they've lost Buemo, they lost Tony, and now they've got Igor Thiago, who's got, is it 8 to 10 League and Cup goals already? So I think it'll be a tough game. Tottenham can't afford to go behind. I think the crowd will get on their back, and that doesn't help them.
Yeah, my thing with Tottenham at home is it's the best stadium in Europe, or one of the best, and it's the best stadium by furlong in England. I always look forward to stay at Paul's to go to Tottenham. If you don't want to go to Tottenham Stadium, you should be watching football, and that's same for the players. How would you not want to go and play there? So Spurs get everybody's best game. That's the only problem. But Brentford away from home are woeful. I think Spurs will get back to winning ways. I just think that they've just got, Paul, I look at the training pitch. Kudos gets the ball one-on-one, and Bergvall runs in behind him. Whoever's coaching these players, it amazes me. Let the winger go one-on-one and get in the box.
Curtis,
they run all over the show. I don't like him, Paul.
Sessignon tied him up.
Yeah.
And Sessignon's rubbish in my book. I had him for 2 years. He's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Every time he got the ball, he tries to. Last night he got caught in the ball. He never recovers. He shouldn't be playing. Compare him to Kulusevski. Compare him to people who played there.
He looks good, but does nothing, in my opinion. And also, he plays on the right, and he never goes to the line on his right foot. So it makes it easy for defenders, and that's my problem.
And good right-footed players have been pushed to left wing.
Yeah.
All those guys, Xavi Simons and Odebert, they all get pushed. You guys are left wing.
He's not my cup of tea. Like when Liverpool dropped Salah, he's got to get dropped.
Not mine.
Anyway, Leeds, Liverpool. Talking of Salah, I'm sure he'll start tonight. Steve, this is going to be a close game. I've watched Leeds. I know the fans are going berserk with that coach. But they lost to Spurs. I didn't think they deserved to. They got a deflected winner. And they lost to Aston Villa, another poxy goal. I think Leeds have got a chance here. I know they've got a hard game tonight at Chelsea at home. But I think they've got a chance here. Do you agree?
Liverpool never look great at West Ham.
Well, I think anyone has a chance against Liverpool at the moment because they haven't got that sort of confidence coursing through their veins. Even when they were 1-0 up at West Ham, West Ham had a few half chances, and it was only really when they went down to 10 men that Liverpool sort of killed the game off. Yeah. So this is Liverpool haven't quite convinced anybody yet that they're title contenders. So until they start winning a few, now they're capable. And interesting that he started with Isak, dropped Salah and Ekitike. Whether they'll be back, I mean, obviously he's got the players to sort of rotate, which I think he'll need to. So for me, I think Liverpool will win it, but it won't be pretty.
Yeah, I'll be bookings. This will get feisty. That's my opinion. Waiting for the bookings and the red cards. Brighton, West Ham. Yeah, Brighton are one of those teams. The better the team they play, the better they play. Against a lesser team, and West Ham will sit back here and try and catch them on the break.
Boy is a good player. What's his name, the boy front?
Yeah, good player. But Brighton.
Right. I mean, this is an interesting sort of game because on paper, the way they're both playing, you fancy Brighton. Yeah. But West Ham away, seem to be, again, when they play at home and they struggle, the fans really get onto them. It's quite a toxic atmosphere there at the London Stadium, and at times, I think there's a lot of complaints. There is no atmosphere there, but away from home, they seem to be putting in some better performances. So I think, again, Brighton, obviously they both play, and West Ham play Thursday night, so they've got a sort of a game a day less. So for me, I think that really is an advantage for Brighton. I think it will be close, but Brighton for me.
Yeah, Brighton have got Aston Villa tonight, so that'll be a good game. Two teams that are decent teams. Fulham, Crystal Palace, Steve.
The late game Sunday.
What do you think?
Yeah, tough. Well, look, Palace are one of our bogey teams. At Fulham, we haven't beaten them for 20 years. Away, we won several times at Selhurst, and last season they beat us twice in a matter of weeks, once in the league and once in the cup at Fulham. Yeah. So, tough game, but if we can play with the same sort of confidence as we played in that last half hour yesterday, and not sit back, then I think we are capable of beating them. So I think it's going to be close. So, I fancy us to win, but I think it won't be easy because they're a strong side, Palace. I thought interesting that in the 4 times they've played in Europe this season, they've lost 3 and drawn 1 the weekend after. So, which showed, I think, in their second half against
definitely showed.
United. They don't have the squad, but I think this is going to be again. We've got a day advantage because obviously the Palace are playing tonight. So for me, I think there'll be goals. The difference for me last year was that they had Eze and Sarr. Yeah. Eze's gone and Sarr went off injured. I'm not sure whether he's going to be available, so I think that could make a difference. But it's going to be a tight game. They normally are quite physical, but I'm hoping for the best.
Okay. Fulham to score over 1.5 goals, 14-10, Stephen. I think you're going to have to score 2 to win. So that's the way I'm siding. Wolves, Man United, Steve. Wolves will come and park the bus, try and get a point. Can United break them down? I'm hoping Cooney is back. We don't know what's going to happen with Sesko. I thought we got out of jail against Crystal Palace. The first half we were woeful. Second half, I think they fell off the bus. And once we equalised, 2-1, but then we're hanging on again. Yeah. Still not convinced by the manager. And so let's go and win it.
Confidence is not there, but the guys want confidence.
It's a great opportunity for United the next 2 games. I mean, on paper, West Ham and Wolves, these are the teams that you'd look at and think, right, we're going to win these. United pick up 6 points in those 2 games, and they're sitting pretty, in that sort of top 4, top 6 position. So, they're capable of winning it. But Wolves, from what I saw, they did put up a bit of a fight.
They fought hard,
and I think that Rob Edwards, they have to. I mean, no team has ever survived from the position they're in. So, they have to start picking up points. But if they don't, if the best that Wolves do is draw tonight and draw against United, they're going to find themselves, that gap is going to start getting bigger.
Yeah. The problem they've got is they're going to have to start sending men forward, and defensively they're weak. But tonight's a big game for them. Forest at home, and United Wolves over the years has always been a tight game. But, United, you just never know. On to the championship, and if ever a team's jinxed, last night Blackburn played Ipswich. They were 1-0 up weeks ago, and it got rained out. There was a monsoon. Last night they were 1-0 up, 14 seconds to go. Ipswich equalised. So poor Blackburn, boys down the road. But Friday night, Steve, Hull City seemed to have gone off the boil. They were scoring goals for fun. They cost me last Saturday, couldn't score. But Middlesbrough, they don't convince me at the moment.
No, but this is a big game. I mean, obviously, there's not that far in distance between them, so big crowd at the Hull City Stadium. So, you know, I think you're right. They both got off the boil a little bit. Borough are sort of falling away from Coventry. You know, they were, a few weeks ago they were just a point or two behind, and now it's sort of 10 points. So, for me, I think of the two, I do fancy Borough though. Yeah. As you say, Hull, I think there'll be goals. I think both teams will score goals, but I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, they cost me three. They lost 3 of the last 5, Hull City, but I think that's got draw written all over it.
Don't pick them anymore.
Yep, no, you're right. Geez, nothing worse. Nice bet to come. Just need to score at home, and they got beat by Ipswich. Crazy. Steve, Charlton, Portsmouth. You know, Charlton, I know they came up by the playoffs last year. They've lost their last 4. This is a big game for them. If they can't get a result against Portsmouth, they're going to start dropping down the league.
Yeah, I think, you know, they were one of those teams a few weeks ago that sort of coupon buster. Yeah. You know, they were picking up points where you didn't expect, but they have got off the ball. Portsmouth are a bit up and down as well. I could see this being all square. Neither are showing great form, but I just think that they have got off the ball, Charlton, and I'd be surprised if they win this one.
Yeah, I want both teams to score. Both teams are going to realise, hey, hang on, we've got to get out of this relegation battle. And as I said, Charlton at home, I watched them when they drew with Millwall 1-0. They had a go. All of a sudden, the wheels have come off. But I think there's goals in this, Steve. I know it looks like a tight game, but if I'm both managers, I'm saying, hey, guys, we've got a chance here. Both teams are out of form. Let's give it a go here. So I took 9.5 to 10, both teams to score. Derby, Leicester City. I can't believe Leicester City got beat last week at home by Sheffield United. I don't know if that manager's under pressure or not, Steve, but if they get beat at Derby, the writing's got to be on the wall for him, surely.
Well, they could be, and they could do. I mean, Derby have, you know, overall have had a good season compared to where they have been. Leicester have again, it's hard to pick. I mean, that was a huge defeat at home, and they were 3 down at one point. Obviously, they fought back a little bit, but you know, they are struggling, and I think their manager is under pressure. You know, the players that they still had available, I think they're expected to do far better, and you know, they're adrift at the moment of the teams at the top. I wouldn't be surprised if Derby, at the very minimum, hold Leicester. It's you know, there's a bit of it is a derby, sort of an East Midlands derby, and I think that Derby County might just come out on top.
Yeah, I think we got that on ESPN, so I'll tape it and watch it later. Watford, I like watching Watford. I saw they come back to beat Derby 3-2 away. I know they're unlucky when they drew with my boys Preston. I think they'll beat Norwich. I know Norwich have had a bounce factor with the manager, but I like what I see with Watford, Steve. I'm all over them at 9 to 10. You with me?
I think so. I mean, obviously Norwich had their first home win last week, but not overly convincing. But as you say, Watford at home have been quite strong, and I fancy them to get a result.
Yeah, 9 to 10's in my bets. On to our second page, and Blackburn, Sheffield Wednesday. They drew 1-1 last night, but Sheffield Wednesday, terrible result. They're actually unlucky against Preston. Conceded late when they lost 3-2 at home, but Blackburn can't get a result here. I'll be surprised, Steve.
Yeah, well, look, Sheffield Wednesday are down. They know that. Obviously, having had 6 more points deducted, which seems, talking about kicking a man when they're down. And they're 27 points adrift. I mean, you know, they don't have the squad to get 27 more points, let alone catch anybody. But I think because they know they're down, they've got nothing to lose, so they'll have a go. But I think Blackburn will be too strong for them.
Yeah, I think they'll...
Both teams capable of scoring, and I think Blackburn could win this one.
Yeah, I looked at that price, 27 to 10. Blackburn are winning both teams to score. As you say, Sheffield Wednesday, they're gone. Doesn't make a difference. Let's have a go here, guys. Let's try and give the fans something to please. So both teams will definitely score, in my opinion, but I took the chance. Blackburn to win, both teams to score at 27 to 10. Thought that was a big price. Bristol City, Millwall, Steve. If ever there's a game in the league, it's going to be tight. It should be this one.
Yeah, big game. I mean, if you look at the league table, see where they both are. Millwall, big win for them last weekend against Southampton, who were on a good run. And, they're hard to beat away from home, Millwall. So, for me, I can see them maybe cancelling each other out. I mean, Bristol City, the bookies have got them as clear favourites, but Millwall won't go down easily. As we saw against Southampton, they were behind. So, I fancy a sort of a low-scoring draw.
Yeah.
Bristol City don't lose many at home. Millwall don't lose many away. So I think that both teams probably cancel each other out.
1-1 is 7-1. So if I was going to have a bet, that would be my suggestion. Ipswich Coventry. Two sides expected to go up. Ipswich have been woeful of late, and I can't believe Coventry are 21-10, Steve. Pressure's off, they're well clear, and they can go there and have a full go.
Absolutely. I mean, look, they're the fastest team in the Championship in recent years to get to 50 goals. They average 3 goals a game. Even if they go behind, they just don't give up. Frank Lampard has really got them playing well. For me, I'm all over Coventry City. I think Ipswich will score, but I just think that they're not convincing Ipswich this season, and a couple of good results, but overall not convincing. And I think if Coventry play as they have done, then I'd be surprised at anything other than an away win.
Yeah, I can't believe 21-10. Thanks, worth a bet. My boys, Preston, we were woeful when I watched us against Blackburn at home. We lost 1-0. Terrible result, but we got outplayed. Lucky to beat Sheffield Wednesday, but Wrexham is Kiefer Moore back, Steve? I try to look to see if he is back.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Again, we won't know until when the press conference just either tomorrow or the day after. So, makes certainly made a difference for Wrexham. But again, they don't give up, Wrexham. They were behind the other day, came back with the late goal. The one thing you're going to get from them is a lot of effort, and they do score goals. So, I think Preston will need to maybe score first. But, I think I fancy a draw here. I think, it's a big game. Wrexham's not that far from Preston. So, there'll be a lot of red and white fans there, so I think it'll be a good game. Preston overall, I'm sure you're happy with the season they're having. Let 1 or 2 games slip, but it was a good win at Sheffield Wednesday in the end, because they could have thrown it away, and I think they missed a penalty Wednesday, didn't they? So to go 3-2 up, so it could have been a different result. So for me, I fancy a draw.
Yeah, I just hope we play Gibbons and Dobbin up front with a boy from Tottenham on loan. We've got this guy, Michael Smith. Let him come off the bench. He's a Langostina lighthouse. He can cause damage. But I agree, Steve. I think this has got draw written all over it. But my boys need to get the 3 points. On to our final page in the Championship. QPR West Brom. I can't believe how bad West Brom have been away from home. I thought they'd be contenders for promotion place. Lost all 5. Terrible. QPR, you never know. They've lost 3 of the last 4. But they did beat Hull last time at home. So of the 2 sides, I fancy QPR, Steve.
Yeah, they certainly score goals at home, QPR.
Yeah.
West Brom were really under pressure. Ryan Mason was under pressure last weekend, 2-0 down to Swansea. Came back to win 3-2, so maybe that will give them a bit of confidence. Yeah. I think there'll be goals. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a score draw, though. I think it will be a tight game. Yeah. West Brom are going to want to try and sort of capitalise after getting those 3 points last week. But QPR, as you say, you're not sure what you're going to get from them, but they do score. So, I think there will be goals in this game.
Yep, 9-10, both teams to score. Interesting game. Sheffield United versus Stoke City. Stoke City flying high, but Sheffield United slow rebounding, Steve. They won the last 3 and a great result last week. Can they make it 4 in a row?
Yeah, I just think, I think they've turned the corner. I think Chris Wilder has just started to sort of get a tune out of them. Obviously, he's got them playing the way he wants. They were 3 up at Leicester. Yeah. Saw highlights. They look really good. And they got one of the best players in the Championship. Yeah, and I'm always surprised that he hasn't stepped up his Callum O'Hare. But, I'm just, we were looking at him at one point a couple of years ago, but he's done really well. He was good at Coventry and he's doing well at Sheffield United. So I fancy that to be a bit of a surprise. I fancy Sheffield United for me. I know Stoke are doing well. Yeah. But Sheffield United I think they're just finding some form, be a big crowd, and I think that they're climbing up the table after that crazy start. They've won, is it sort of 6 in 10 or something like that now? They're on a decent run.
Yeah, I was at the game when they played Preston. They were 2-0 up and should have been a lot more. Then they got cock-a-hoop and ended up getting beat, which they should never have done. Is Patrick Bamford there? Sure, it looked like he was playing against...
He is, yeah. He scored a couple of goals for them.
Yeah, so he can play in that league. He's a threat as long as he's fit. But anyway, I just got a funny feeling it's going to be a tight game. So I'm looking at the draw there. Southampton, Birmingham City, Steve. 12-10 Southampton. I know Birmingham City are going well, but Southampton at home.
Yes, Birmingham was scoring goals, but not away. They've struggled away from home. It's at home they've been really strong recently. But Southampton, look, they had those 4 wins in a row. Everyone was talking about, the new manager, interim manager, and then they came unstuck at sort of Millwall. But I think they'll bounce back. I think there'll be goals. It'll be interesting to see how Birmingham travel because they haven't really very well. It's at home where they're strong, but I think it'll be a good game. I think both teams will score, but I just got a feeling Southampton could edge this one.
Yeah, I've got to agree. 12-10 Southampton. Like the look of that. And last but not least, two sides definitely out of form. Swansea City lost their last 5 against an Oxford United side who've only won one of their last 5. Steve, which way are you siding?
Yeah, I mean, the Swansea really having a bad run. They were deservedly 2 up at West Brom, but then sort of capitulated. Oxford, at home they made themselves hard to beat, but away not so much so. So I think if Swansea need to get back on winning ways, I think this is the match for it. So close game, but I fancy Swansea at home.
Yeah, I just can't trust them. They've cost me money in the past, so I'll be leaving that away. Steve, pressure time as always. I need your best bet and value bet, even though I think I know who you're going for.
Well, for my best bet, I'm surprised. I think I might go for Sheffield United. I just think they could cause a bit of an upset. And for my value bet, I've got to go for Coventry City. Yeah. As you say, you back a winner till they lose, and they keep winning. So and scoring goals. I think that's the point. I mean, they're entertaining. They're entertaining, and they're scoring on average 3 goals a game. Yeah. So Ipswich are going to have to score 2 or 3 themselves to keep in that game. So look, that will be a good game to watch.
Yeah, I agree. Even the game they did lose was a Friday night game against Wrexham. They got beat 3-2 as a humdinger. I'm agree. 21-10. I think it's a great price. I'm all over Chelsea, Steve. I think Chelsea are aspiring. Bournemouth are going the other way. I think 12-10. You never know. The betting may change, which after tonight's game. But I'm all over Chelsea at 12-10. I think they're good things. Steve, thanks as always, and we'll speak over the weekend. Take care.
Thank you. Cheers, bye, Paul.
Bye-bye. Right, PSL.
Paul, what a goal last night, Amazulu. Geez, I was watching the game.
They beat Arrows.
The worst penalty I've ever seen given in my life. The Amazulu left back gets skinned. He just liberties the winger. The ball went to the centre half of Amazulu. He blasted in the crowd in disgust. Guy hit the crossbar and over it went. The goal the guy scored was... I don't know if you can remember Ginola scoring a goal against Man United. He came and he bent it top corner, identical. What a goal.
I remember that.
But Amazulu, geez, plenty of people there. 1-0 they won, Paul.
Where'd they play?
They played at Lazi.
Okay, I'm lazy.
This game's on tonight, Paul.
Yeah,
but,
I just have a look. Quickly glance at it.
Yeah.
Durban City, just quickly talk about Gavin Hunt.
Yeah, Paul.
He was fired, sacked, whatever you want to call it. Shocking decision. They will go one way. People are swinging on their tails already.
Big game tonight. That team's 21-10 Orbit College. The thing with Gavin is he gets things organised. And he's that's at the back. Because we had breakfast with him last Thursday after the show, Gavin and I. He said it's hard. You get given a team. They're not good enough. So you've just got to make sure at the back, get everybody, you don't do this. They're going to struggle for goals, but let's see what happens, Paul. But I think they're in trouble.
I wish them no luck. I spoke to Gavin as well. It's just the scenario was untenable, unbearable. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so let's have a look at the Carling Cup final, Budge. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, big game. It's in Polokwane. Paul, Pirates are a good team. Ironically, actually watched the first game. They played in Bloemfontein. That's where Maruma Gallants are. And Gallants was a superb game. Paul Gallants scored injury time. Keeper came fishing. They can play. They knocked out Sundowns. Right. But the way Pirates are playing, Paul, the boys are coming through. They're playing well. Those youngsters. It is, Paul. But I don't see them losing. I think they'll win it. But, the crowd will be there. They'll have 1 million supporters. So I'm looking forward to this, Paul.
When do they play, Budge?
It's Saturday, I think, 6 o'clock our time.
I might flick over with my 2 TVs and watch them.
They're a good team to watch, Pirates, Paul.
Yeah, I enjoy them. I enjoy Sundowns Pirates and a couple of the other teams that have impressed me. All right, Budge, give us your picks.
Paul, on to the Saturday exotics. And the first one up's the Soccer 6. I've thrown the draw in with Arsenal at Aston Villa. The field in the Derby County versus Leicester City clash. I'm going for Chelsea to be too good for Bournemouth. Everton win and draw at home against Bournemouth. Going for Man City to beat Sunderland. And Tottenham Brentford. I've gone the field there. Maybe I should have put Spurs 1 and 2 and gone the field in the Everton game. But with Spurs' home form, you just can't trust them. That's 216 Rand. On to the second Soccer 6. I've bankering Inter Milan to beat Como, says Fabregas's team. I'm going RB Leipzig win and draw against Eintracht Frankfurt. And then 4 away win and draws. Barcelona at Real Betis. Liverpool at Leeds United. Ajax Amsterdam at Fortuna Sittard. And Atletico Madrid at Athletic Bilbao 192. On to the Soccer 10. I'm going Arsenal win and draw at Aston Villa. The field in the Derby County versus Leicester City fixture. Wolfsburg win and draw at home against Union Berlin. Bankering Chelsea to beat Bournemouth. And Everton win and draw at home against Notts Forest. On to the second page. 2 bankers. Man City to beat Sunderland and Newcastle to beat Burnley. The field in the Tottenham versus Brentford clash. Real Sociedad win and draw at Deportivo Alaves and bankering Orlando Pirates to beat Maroon Gallants 288. On to the Soccer 13, which should be another massive pool. Going Liverpool win and draw against Leeds United. Bankering Chelsea to beat Bournemouth. Man City to beat Sunderland. Tottenham win and draw against Brentford. Everton win and draw against Notts Forest. Newcastle to be too good at home for Burnley. And Bristol City win and draw at home against Millwall. On to the second page, going Coventry City win and draw at Ipswich Town. Chancing Preston North End to win at Wrexham and Queen's Park Rangers to win at home against West Brom. Going for Stoke City to avoid defeat at Sheffield United. Bankering Southampton to beat Birmingham City and Swansea win and draw at home against Oxford United 256. On to our Budgies bets for the weekend. I'm going Chelsea to beat Bournemouth and over 2.5 total goals. I'm going Newcastle to beat Burnley and both teams to score. And both teams to score in the Fulham Crystal Palace fixture. 3,200 to 200. Our team goal sides, I'm going Chelsea, Tottenham, Fulham and Man United all to score over 1.5 goals. 3,000 to 200. On to the championship, I'm going Blackburn to beat Sheffield Wednesday and Watford to beat Norwich City and both teams to score in each game. So Blackburn and Watford to win and the other 2 teams to score, 2,800 to 200. Both teams to score sides are Charlton Portsmouth, Derby Leicester, Bristol City Millwall and QPR West Brom, 2,500 to 200. We stay in Spain. I'm going over 2.5 goals, both teams to score in the Villarreal versus Getafe clash. I'm going Real Madrid to beat Celta Vigo and both teams to score. And then on Monday night, I'm going Osasuna to beat Levante at 8.5 to 10, 2,200 to 200. And our Collis King 6 or Nixa, I'm going Chelsea to beat Bournemouth, Newcastle to beat Burnley, Watford to beat Norwich City, Bayern Munich to beat Stuttgart, Inter Milan to beat Como, and Osasuna to beat Levante. 4,700 to 200.
Good odds, but you managed to get some good odds there. The hard
Paul,
bets.
you know, as long as there's only like 1, 3 to 10. Should we go 8 to 10, 8 to 10, 8 to 10, 12 to... Paul, it multiplies very quickly.
Okay, so the focus tonight is the last one standing.
Last one standing,
and
yeah.
it goes straight into the weekend, starting on Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Okay, so 2 guys are through from the first competition. They scraped through in the bad
Playing
game.
for draws in the other games, Paul.
All right, until next time, stay on side.